He's now saying, Haman, mina Torah minai. Haman, from where do you come from in the Torah? Haman, it's not saying from where do you come from, like etymologically. We're asking, what is the root of Haman? What is the possibility to even sin or to even deny God's presence? Because if you were sensitive to Hashem, where sin began. Where's this place where sin began? Hamina Eitz. But not only Hamina Eitz, from the tree itself, from the notion of God even questioning. Because the whole Metzias of Haman is the questioning, the doubt. So Hamina Eitz, so now he's saying, the fact that he's saying it in a questioning way, וזהו Hamina Eitz, הביטמיה שהוא למעלה מבחינת העץ. ומכל מקום מאחד דכתיב המין העץ אפילו בלשון תביעה, הרי יש לה כל פעם קצת שייכות על העץ. שאם להבחין למה מזכירו עץ על העץ? Right? Why are you even mentioning the tree? If he knew what? Let's see a little more. החיים, the idea is שהוא בבחינת מקיף לעץ. נוגע ואינו נוגע, והוא בבחינת חוצפה וגס הרוח. Haman is Hamin Ha'etz. Did you eat from the tree? Implying that Haman actually transcends the concept of the tree. Like we said, the idea of the fact that I even have to ask you a question implies that there's room for possibility of something else other than that answer. And therefore, it's spiritually speaking, Haman's energy is Makif La'etz. He transcends the tree. He is higher than the tree. Nogeya ve'einu nogeya. He's touching it and not touching it. And this is reflected in the idea of chutzpah, audacity, v'gas haruach, and ego. Wow. This. It's similar to what we just said. Remember, avodah zarah is what? Is a symptom or a cause? It's a symptom. It's a result of something else. What is the result? What is it a result of? What is it symptomatic of? Of chutzpah and gasas haruach. So the tree's existence is only existing because of what? Because of water, because of sunshine. The tree's existence is symptomatic of certain things that are making it grow. So the ability for the Eitz Hadas Tevera to even be growing is from something that is higher than it, that is deeper than it, that is transcending it. So he's saying that the Eitz comes from Haman. Haman's energy, Hamin, Ha'etz comes from Hamin. Again, really say the words Haman. Hamin Ha'etz. Ha'etz comes from Haman. The Eitz is an offshoot, is an expression of Haman. What is the Eitz? The Eitz is that doubt. The Eitz is that evil, that negativity. But that is just symptomatic of something much deeper. How do you get to that level? You need chutzpah and gasas haruach. You need, how do you translate chutzpah? No?
Audacity.
I said audacity. But better word. Chutzpah. Chutzpah is untranslatable. And gasas haruach, an ego, right? A pompousness. Huh? The nerve, right? The nerve, the pompousness, of what? So now he's going to say something very deep. Every single thing in Klippa, so now we're saying like this. The ingredients to grow the tree, right? We say sunshine, water, right? Good soil. So the ingredients that the tree of, in Kabbalah, the tree of Eitz Hadas Tevera is called Ilana Desfeika. The tree of doubt. The tree of doubt is only an offshoot, is only a symptom, is only an effect of a deeper cause. What is that cause? What is the soil that is fertile enough to allow the tree of doubt to grow? That's called Haman. Ha'etz comes from Haman. Instead of saying Hamin Ha'etz, you say Ha'etz from Haman. So Haman is the fertility to allow this tree of doubt to grow. Now, who is Haman in his essence? He's chutzpah and gasas haruach. That chutzpah and gasas haruach is the sunshine and water to allow the tree of doubt to grow in your life. I.e., to allow avodah zarah to occur. However, everything in Klippa has a corresponding energy or nature in Kedusha. So in the realm of holiness, there's also this idea And it's also called Haman, but how after Haman is cleansed. After Haman is sifted through, after Haman is refined. And reoriented back to the original source of Haman. Haman is the origin of all klipa. Reish is Goyim Amalek. He's the conception, he's the inception of all negativity in the world. The ability to deny God. We said it's the roots of the doubtfulness of creation. But what is that source? Look what he says. The grandchildren of Haman, the grandchildren of Haman learned Torah in public. They converted, they did tshuva. How? Because there's an element or an energy of Haman after it is sifted through, after it is reoriented back to Kedusha. And that is called having ego and having pride in the ways of God. And his heart became emboldened in the paths of Hashem. It says, every single Jew, the way you daven, or the way you should be, is your eyes are low, the way you walk also. Your eyes are low, but your heart is on high. Einayim, what's this mean? Again, everything is everything is Torah is nuanced and precise. So what does it mean? Your eyes should be below, but your heart should be above. Ein of lamata, what are your eyes? Your eyes are not only your physical eyes, your eyes are the power of vision of your soul, your intellect. Einayim heim b'chinas chachma, koyachma. B'chinas Moshe. Who are the eyes of your soul? Moshe Rabbeinu. Koyachma, the chachma of you. Shahaya anav b'kol adam b'chinas bittul. In which, what is Moshe? Your ein of lamata, your chachma, your power of koyachma is lamata, is able to make you anav, is able to make you humble. Mikol Adam, Moshe Rabbeinu, it's the Moshe in you that it has tremendous humility. Now, humility is what? It's not a doormat, it's not a shmata, but rather it's knowing your qualities and acquiescing to the fact that if your qualities were given to somebody else, he maybe would do a better job than you. But in no way is it mitigating or diminishing your power. B'chinas bittul. Like we use I like to translate the word bittul, not nullification, but rather absolute focus and alignment. When a person is focused on his mission and purpose, he has the greatest amount of humility. When somebody is out of focus,
where does that invite the idea of like knowing that someone else, that aspect of like knowing that if someone else had it, that they would look better?
Yes.
The focus part is like, okay, I have these qualities.
Yes.
I'm going to challenge them.
Yes. And the humility to know that only my humility is that I'm blessed. I'm blessed, I'm gifted with these qualities. If Hashem would bless or gift these qualities to somebody else, he would do like me.
Double down, basically.
Yeah, basically, of course I'm powerful, but I'm powerful only because Hashem entrusted this power in me. If he chose to entrust this power in somebody else, he would be much better. Gaiva is I'm the only one that can do this. Moshe Rabbeinu says, I can do this, but really you should give it to Aaron. And really let's fabrain for 7 days and try and give it to somebody else. Once Hashem says, no, only you can do this. Okay, only I can do this. But if Hashem chose to give it to somebody else, he would be able to do it. That's called Einayim Lamata. Your eyes, your chachma, your power of vision, your power to be able to see clearly in life specifically comes from your power of humility. However, your heart has to be attached to the above. What is the heart? The heart is the foundation of fire, and the yearning, the thirst. And the nature of fire is to ascend upwards. That's the passion, that's the enthusiasm, that's the excitement. Once I have the humility to say, wow, Hashem has blessed me to be a Jew, now my lave is attached to the above, nothing can stop me. I'm so passionate, I'm so excited. A human being is made up of both. What do we say? Adam is Aleph, Dam. Aleph is Aluf and Shalaylam, the Eibishter, Hashem's essence. Dam in your blood. Blood is physicality. Blood is, you're just, what? I am but dust but ashes. On the one hand, I'm a soul, chelik elakamimal, in what? In a brute body, in mamish dust, in earth. Adam is from the word Adama. I come from the earth. Wow. If a person didn't have any sense of emboldenedness, I want to say the word ego, right? Yeah? But any sense of positive, healthy ego, he would never have the audacity to approach God in divine service. He would always say, who am I? And we have this in our circles as well. We get excited, we get motivated, and then the klipa comes and says, who are you to daven so long? Who are you to learn so much Torah? You think you're learning so much? So you have to have an audacity, a holy audacity, to say, "I'm a chelik alekami mal." My heart is attached to Hashem. Of course, I'm going to approach Hashem. If you wouldn't have that hagbah, if you wouldn't have that emboldenedness, if you wouldn't have that elevated personality, lo ya'arev liba, your heart would never be stirred, la gashes al avodah, to approach the divine service of what you're meant to be doing. And you'll say, what? Even if I daven for 10 hours, who am I? What's my avodah? People say this all the time. You know where I was last night? I'm not worthy to put on tefillin today. I'm not worthy to daven shachris. I'm not worthy to keep Shabbos. It's not that I don't want to. Of course I want to, but I'm not worthy. Hashem really wants my mitzvahs. That's coming from a level of false humility. That's coming from a level that you only have your eyes and your humility, but no heart. You need both. Therefore, you need a hagbas halev, an emboldened heart, in a sense of yearning and craving and longing. And also simultaneously having your eyes below, because you don't want to get too emboldened and say, yeah, that's it. The only thing that counts is avodas Hashem. And if I didn't do my chitas, I didn't do my ramah, I didn't do my things, that's it. You don't exist. I can't. On my own spiritual orbit. That's also not good. If you don't have your eyes below the humility, and you only have your leyv lamaila, right? Then your spirituality becomes an expression of your ego, of your false ego, of your negative ego. That's not good. That's the worst thing, right?
What?
It's called BT syndrome, yeah? No.
Meaning someone takes it to an extreme.
If somebody only has his heart emboldened, but he doesn't have his eyes below, his chachma making him humble, so then he's going to say that I'm the best davener, like something like that. He's going to say that the only thing that matters is my avodas Hashem. It's not true. The only thing that matters is your avodas Hashem in the context of having humility in avodas Hashem. Right? Then what's going to be is that somebody's going to need your help. You say, I didn't finish my Maamer yet, but really he needs your help right now.
Making space for others.
Not only making space for others, having the awareness that this is what Hashem wants of me right now, and not that, He wants me to egotistically approach God in a spiritual way every moment. However, you also have to have your eyes below the bichinas bittul mamish, absolute focus and alignment and humility. Because Torah can inflate your ego. The more Torah you learn, the more you could say, "Wow, I know Torah." However, if you have einayim lamata, if you have your eyes below, and realizing that that you are only and merely a vessel to hold on to the power of the infinite wisdom in Torah. And understanding that your mouth is merely a microphone amplifying the divine words of Torah. That's why it says, this is in Gemara Soita, that a Torah scholar, you're learning for a long time or not so much. Everything's relative. You have to have an eighth of ego. An eighth of audacity, of gas saruach, an inflation of self, an eighth of an eighth.
It's not like
so a very small amount. And the other version of the Gemara, the other opinion of the Gemara is nothing, zero. Any gas saruach, any ego, any inflation of self is horrible. Here he says, no, you have to have an eighth of an eighth, because at the end of it, nobody's going to respect you, right? What? You won't respect yourself, and therefore everybody's going to walk on you. What's an eighth of an eighth? Everything has to be understood api chassidus. It says in Sefer Yetzirah that the faculty of Chachma has 32 paths. There are 32 paths of wisdom and 50 gates of Bina. What does it mean a path? What does it mean a gate? Also, your heart is the same numerical value as 32. So we're correlating the heart with Chachma, 32 paths of wisdom. What is 32 times 32? So again, Chachma is leyv, 32 paths of wisdom, and leyv is leyv. Huh? Chachma is leyv, Chachma is 32 paths of wisdom, and leyv is gematria 32. What's 32 plus 32? 32? 64. Right? Again, the Sefer Yetzirah says there are 32 paths of wisdom. And then another gematria is that leyv, your heart, is 32. So he's saying between Chachma, that's the whole purpose, Chachma and leyv. 32 plus 32 is 64. Ushminis shebishminis hu chilek echad misamach dalid. And an eighth of an eighth is 1/64th. Wow. What's 1/64th? 1/64th is 1 degree, 1 element of the heart and the mind. It's the ascent of the heart that is attaching itself to the mayach hachachma. What do we just say? What are your eyes? Ein of lamata is chachma. That's the humility. Leiboy lamayla, that's your heart, that's your emboldenedness. Chachma is 32 paths of wisdom, that's 32. Leyv is 32 gematria, that's 64. So an eighth of an eighth is 1/64th. Ki ha'ikar hi ha'chachma. The primary thing is chachma. Hamshachas b'chinas habitul. The idea of the drawing down of humility. But in order to have true humility, you have to think of yourself as something. Wow. If you're just of nothing, you can't be anything. You can't even have humility. Humility is when, true humility is when I know I have the talent, but I know that the talent was given to me, was bequeathed to me, was gifted to me. Here, so therefore he's saying, you need the lave, you need to be something in order to be nothing. You can't go from being nothing to being something. You have to be something, you have to work at it, and know that this is who you are, and have the humility to say this is a power that was gifted to me. So therefore you have to go from if you don't have ascent, you don't have descent. If you don't elevate, you cannot draw down. You're drawing down humility on you. But in order to draw down humility on you, in order to appreciate that it's a gift from God, you have to know that it's a gift. You have to know that you were gifted. You have to be a something. Above Allah. This idea of the elevation and ascent. This is all called the elevation of holiness. This is the healthy, non-toxic version of Haman after he is cleansed, after he is sifted through. I think maybe he's explained. Maybe he's explained something else. You need both. Yehudi is the bittul. Haman is the Hagbah. You need both. You need both. So maybe also the idea of Haman being hung on the tree of 50 amas. 50 is higher than 49. 50 is bina. Maybe something like that. He doesn't say it here. 50 gates of bina. 50 amas. Yeah. Maybe that's the birudim. That's the sifting through. That's the cleansing of Haman is injecting in his being. I don't know what the idea of hanging, whatever, but injecting in his being the idea of bina, right, which is bina liba. Bina liba, it says in Pesach Eliyahu. The heart, the bina is seated in the heart. Maybe he doesn't say it here. So what's the whole point of this discussion? An eighth of an eighth. A Talmid Chacham has to have an eighth of an eighth. You have to have an eighth of an eighth of Haman in you. No, the opposite. No, yeah. You have to have an eighth of an eighth of Haman. An eighth of an eighth, 1/64th of ego. That's a healthy version of Haman. Wow. And this is why Haman was privileged to give, to transmit the levush and the sus. He's the one who gave the horse and the garments. Which version of he? The version of he that is already nullified. Who's riding on the sus? Mordechai. Who's leading the sus? Haman. But Haman needs to hold on to the sus. Haman needs to lead him. Haman needs to bring the levushim. Which side of you is having the audacity to approach Hashem? The bittul in you or the yesh in you? It's the yesh in you. So all of this is the container, is the facilitator to bring the revelation of the infinite into the finite. You need a little bit of Haman. Haman is the one. It's Haman who takes the levush and the sus. It's Haman who is the one who brings you the divine garment, the divine horses to make you to imbue within you the mentality to say, I'm allowed to learn Torah. A person can say, why should I learn Torah? It's too deep, it's too holy, it's too mystical, it's too amazing. Who am I? I'm a shmat, I'm nothing. Haman says, no, you are Hamin Ha'etz. You're coming from the good version, the good part, the good segment of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But that's only after Haman is Mevarer.
Only have to get rid of
only after Haman is Mevarer, then he will lead Mordechai on the sus, but he at the end of the day he's the one who transmits, he's the transmitter of the sus and the levush to holiness.
What's the order?
Well, let's see. Ki halevush hu Hashem malach geus lavesh bechinas geus visnasus. We said the levush, the divine garment, is Hashem who robes himself in grandeur. This is the elevation and the heightened experience. V'sus b'gematria beis bam samech gimel. Sus is gematria 2 times 63. 63 times 2 is 106. 126. No, 63. 60 is 120. 126. Sus is 126. Shem Sag. What's Shem Sag? This you have to do. You have to look in the Chassidus book. We have four permutations of Hashem's name. 45 Ban Sag Avan Ma. 45, 52, 63, 72. So Dafka Shem Sag, I believe, is the realm of Toyu. Yeah, beautiful. So Dafka Sus is the Indian of Toyu in a channeled way. Which is not the case by Keser Malchus. That's the divine crown. I'm sorry, the crown of sovereignty, who is the crown which his mother crowned him. In the level of the crown, Haman only has an attachment. Haman is only giving him the levush and the sus. Haman can't give the crown. Wow. Haman can only give the levush and the sus, which those two things are the couriers transmitting the infinite into the finite. But he cannot give the infinite itself. What's the infinite self? That's the mitzvahs. That's the mitzvahs. What you said, that's the Keser Malchus. Keser Malchus is, Keser is the same gematria as 620, right? There is no klipa corresponding to Kedusha in that realm. In a mitzvah, that's literally the absolute nullification to Hashem's will, and that has to come before Nishma. Haman is the re-evoking of the Nishma of Har Sinai, the Nishma, the understanding, which is subsequent to Na'aseh, that is reflected in the levush and the sus. The levush is the garment of Torah, and the sus is the garment of Torah, the letters of Torah. But what's the Keser Malchus? That's the mitzvahs themselves. That's the mitzvahs themselves that transcend actual any learning and actual any garment. In which has no corresponding level of klipa. So therefore, he's not the transmitter. And Haman took the garment and the horse. What happened to the crown? He can't take that. There is no dominion at all of that level of klipa, even if it's transformed to kedusha. It doesn't exist. There is no corresponding negativity in the realm of mitzvahs. The mitzvahs are the essence of the essence, that it transcends and is totally higher than the luvush and the sus, and therefore he's not the one to give the crown. The crown is coming from the
side of klipa.
Right, in Keser. Yeah. No acharim. Therefore, that's why he's not able to give it. Dafka, you need Haman to give you the levush and the sus. The levush and the sus are the ego to approach Hashem. The ego, the healthy, non-toxic, positive energy to say, you know what, I'm a Jew and I'm proud and I'll sing it out loud. And forever that's what I'll be. But to do a mitzvah, you don't need to know that. To do a mitzvah, you don't need to be proud. To do a mitzvah, excuse me, are you Jewish? Even if you're hiding your face, you're connected to the infinite.
He's not elevating it.
Why? Because you don't have any.